Hi, Ms. Brunner's art class. Today we're going to be starting our op art project. I'll be going through all the steps. There's really only 3 steps. So we're going to start with the first one, which is just drawing a little dot in the middle of the paper. So you're just going to find the middle as best as you can. It doesn't have to be exactly in the middle. So let's just say that's the middle. One trick you could do if you really want to find the middle would just be to have a line that goes from one corner to the other corner to the other, and then where those lines intersect would be the exact middle of this paper. But that's not too important for me right now. That's okay. So I'm just gonna make a line that goes from this side, and we'll make it as straight as possible going this way. Like I said, that middle isn't that important. You just do your best in finding that middle. Okay, let's see. So you got your first 2 lines. I'm gonna do one that goes down the middle. And you can have more lines than me. Try to have at least 3 large lines. But if you want to do another one that goes like this, you could do that. I'll do that. And that is the first step. The first step is creating the lines that go like this, that meet all in the middle. So that first dot is really important because all of those lines should go through that dot. Now, the next step is to create what I call the happy faces and the sad faces. So the way I would start to do that is I'll start with happy faces that go from one line to the other line. And I'm going to do at least 3 or 4 of those. I'm going to add one more here. So if you make them so that they're closer together towards the middle and farther away towards the top, it'll actually look like it's going into the paper. Now the next one, you're going to do the opposite. If you did happy faces on one side, you're going to do sad faces on the other side. I call them sad faces just because it's a curved line going down. Almost looks like a sad face. And I'm just gonna pretend there's one that goes here. So it might look like it's coming off the page a little bit, but that's gonna be perfect. It's gonna look awesome. So again, with the happy faces, each line starts where the last one ends. So like I started this line over here. So all the lines should be touching when you draw them. And that is the end of step 2. The last step is now just coloring. So we always have the option of either doing colored pencil or marker in class. I'm just gonna show color pencil first. So I chose 2 complementary colors. I did light blue and light orange. Those are complementary, but you could choose any color scheme. You could do warm colors like we talked about. You could do two cool colors, or you could do another pair of complementary colors. I'm gonna start with blue. And I'm gonna do this part first. The way I hold my pencil is towards the end of the pencil, and I use the side, and then I color in little circles. Try to go a little bit slower than you usually would to make sure it's nice and neat. And you're gonna skip one and go to the next one. Then I'm gonna go to this very last little one that goes off the page I made over here. And that is 1. When you get to the next part, you wanna not do the same one. So I colored this one here. So I'm gonna do the one in front of it. I'm gonna do the opposite ones. So I'm gonna start with this little tiny one. One cool thing you could do is if you leave a little bit of the middle lighter than the corners, so like I'll show you right here. So this part, if I do this part darker, you can make it look more 3D. So you might not be able to tell in this little one, but I'll show you a little bit better on the bigger one. So if I did the corners of this part a little bit darker than what I do the middle, it'll make it look like the middle has a highlight. It's got one layer, and now I'm doing the corners a little bit darker, leaving the middle a little bit lighter. That's what we call value. And by doing that, it'll make the middle look like it has a highlight. See how slow this is? It is a nice, slow process. It doesn't go that quick. It's not about who does it first, who gets it done first. Taking your time is going to help you get a better artwork. And I'm going to do this last one over here. One cool thing you could do is use a darker color that's close to orange, for example, a red. And you can overlap the red with the orange. And it'll make it look even darker, and it'll look like a shadow. Okay, so now that was with colored pencils. You could also choose to do markers. So again, now that you've done this side here, you're gonna start the next one up one. So you don't wanna start in the same place you started the last one. So now I'm gonna switch back to blue. Then you would switch for your next one and go to orange if you're doing marker. And you would start right back where your other orange one started. I'm gonna use the skinny side of this marker. Gonna do the rest of it in marker just so it goes a little bit quicker. And now that is done. That is the third step. Once you have finished coloring it in, you have finished with step 3, and you are done with your artwork. If you finish your artwork, there's a couple of things up in the front that you could do in your extra time, or talk to me and I'll give you something else to do. Maybe another art project. Have a good one.